Hello, welcome back, and indeed welcome to that mad month of March where things start to get a little bit crazy in the garden. I have lots of things to be sowing in March, but not many things to be sown right at the beginning of March, so there's still a little bit of breathing space yet. But we need to keep on the ball for everything that we've got to sow this month before it kind of runs away with us, because it's going to get even busier in April. And these are the first things that I'll be sowing in the Victorian wash house, which is destined to be my new potting shed. So I'm really excited. First things first though, I need to get the lid off the compost. First thing that I'm going to be planting in March are some onion sets. You can still sow onions as well. Jenny from Moorside Garden has sent me these onion sets. Thank you, Jenny. These are stewer on. So let's get those in some cells first. Now with onion sets, it's a pretty straightforward job. You can see where the roots are and where the tips will come out, and you literally just plonk them in the surface like so. Obviously checking if any of them are soft, because any that are a bit soft I will not be planting. Couldn't be more simple really, could it? And I'll just write a label for them. So I've just filled these ones up with compost. And then this is called a dibbalot. And we found this in here, so I don't know how old this is or whether you can still buy them, but I thought it would be perfect for this size tree. So I'm just going to press it in. And it's given me some dibber holes. Amazing. Look at that. Next thing I'm sowing are these beetroot. I have Boldor F1, which is golden beetroot, and I've chosen Red Ace F1, which is a red beetroot. Now you can be sowing these directly outside in drills, but I'm doing a little bit of alteration on my plot. All will be revealed. I might give you a sneak peek at the end of the video. So I'm not sure where I'm planting things at the moment. So for now, I'm going to start the first succession off in these trays. And then when I've got everything finalised outside, I will sow the rest of the bed directly in drills. It's so easy to pop these straight in those holes now. And now I'll do the same for the Red Ace. Next on the list for sowing in March are brassicas. I'm only sowing a few at the beginning of March because I have already got some overwintering. So I'm sowing cauliflower, and the variety I've chosen is Whitex. I'll be sowing some Calabos red cabbage. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I tried to grow this last year, but they were mislabeled, and it was actually greyhound cabbage, which was actually very delicious, but I did want the Calabos. So they're going in this one. And then I'm also going to be sowing my Brussels sprouts. They were a surprise hit with the family last year, so I want to grow more this year. So I'm going to be growing Brody again because we know that we liked those. And then I'm trying a red one as well called Ruby Crunch. Turning my attention now to some salads. So I will be sowing lettuce right at the beginning of March, and I'm choosing all year round to be sowing right now. Now these are not the only lettuces that I'll be sowing. I will be sowing some amaze and some little gems. Now the amaze is just a red little gem. They were absolutely delicious, and I will be sowing red salad bowl as well. And I'll keep succession sowing those, but I am starting the season with these all year round lettuces. Next on my list are spring onions, which I will be succession sowing all throughout the season. I already have some purple lily and long white ishikura in the polytunnel, so I'm choosing to sow Apache next, and I do have some white Lisbon, which will probably be the next succession of spring onions. If you haven't sown any, you can sow some leeks. I have another variety here called Giant Winter, which I will probably put in shortly, although I do have plenty of leeks on the go at the moment. From the middle of March onwards, I will be direct sowing some carrots outside. So my early varieties are Black Nebula, which is a lovely purple carrot, and I will be sowing the good old faithful early Nance. Again, from mid-March onwards, I will be sowing my parsnips. My favourite last year were Tender and True, so I probably will sow the majority of just these, but I do have some Gladiator as well. And you can also be sowing turnips now if you like turnips. So I will be direct sowing some purple top melons. Final things I'll be sowing outside in March are actually peas. I have some peas already come up in the greenhouse, and I'll be succession sowing those every 3 weeks throughout the season. But I'll also be adding in some mange too, and the variety that I've chosen this year are Shiraz. I'm going to crack on and get the lettuces and the spring onions sown, get everything covered up in here. I'll be leaving them in here. It's actually warmer in here overnight than it is in the greenhouses. And then I'll catch you indoors where we'll run through what needs to be sown in the house. Got slightly distracted on my way to the house because it's absolutely glorious in the polytunnel, 24 degrees at the moment. So I thought I'd catch up with the March issue of Kitchen Garden magazine. And if you have the magazine and you turn to page 24, you might recognise a certain someone. And I'd forgotten just how beautiful the plot looked last summer. I can't wait to be seeing that again this year. Thank you, Kitchen Garden. Oh, that's better. I feel like this mug's a little life message for you. Life is better with a dog. And it's got me and Dexter on the other side. Now fueled by coffee, we'll talk about what we're going to be sowing indoors in the month of March. Not everything that I will be sowing now does actually need to be on a heat pad, especially some of the flowers and things. They just need to be above 13 degrees, and it's not above 13 degrees in the greenhouse, especially overnight. But obviously some things do need to be sown onto heat pads, but we'll talk about that as we go along. One of the important things on my list to get going early on in March are some herbs. Now, I have plans for a really nice herb garden this year, which I will reveal in due course. But for now, know that I am going to be sowing some dill, some coriander, some basil and some thyme. Obviously, there's other herbs out there, but they are the most popular for us. I also need to get some chives. I don't have any chive seeds, but I really need to get some chives sown. Have plenty of mint, rosemary and sage. I also have some lemon thyme in the garden, which is one of my most favourite herbs. So there's plenty of that already out there. If you're thinking of growing amaranthus this year, it is also time to get that sown. I really enjoyed having that on the garden last year. The varieties that I've chosen to sow already are ponytails, and then Kerry from Dog on the Plot has sent me some molten fire. So they are already on the grow station and hopefully they will germinate soon. I've also sown antirrhinums and some asters. Now it's the last month for sowing antirrhinums, so if you want to grow your own, you need to be doing that now. Moving ahead to the pollinators on the garden, it is time to start thinking about sowing things like nasturtiums and calendula. I have a few new varieties this year. I will be growing the traditional calendula. I think I grew needles and pins last year and the pot marigold calendula, but I'm also adding in this one called Snow Princess. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I'm hoping some of the nasturtiums have self-seeded anyway and will be coming back, but I have a new variety here called Blue Pepe. I'm going to be sowing those. I'm also going to be sowing Cosmos early in March. I have two varieties this year. I have this dwarf Picotee, and then I have a new variety for me called Double Click Rose Bonbon, and they look absolutely gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to those ones. Now, some sunflowers can be sown this early. Most of mine are actually going to be sown in April, but I do have two dwarf varieties that I'm going to get started this early, and they are Babyface and Little Dorrit. If, like me, you want to grow melons this year, March is the first month to be sowing those. I'm growing Arava melon and Minnesota midget. These will actually be placed on a heat pad to help germinate, and they will stay inside until May time. So you need to be able to know that you've got the space to grow the height that the melons will get to before they get planted outside. Minnesota midget, as the name suggests, doesn't grow as high. So if you've got a nice tall windowsill, that might be okay. But I'll be ending up with these Arava melons behind some patio doors. If you have potatoes chitting on your windowsills like I do at the moment, you might consider starting a few of them off early. It's a bit of a tradition to sow some or plant some on St. Patrick's Day, and I'll be putting a couple of buckets of Red Duke of York in the greenhouse. As soon as it's warm enough to bring them outside of the greenhouse, then obviously I'll do that. But my last frost date is early in May, so I won't be sowing anything else in the ground until then. Just those couple of buckets of first earlies. I'm not going to be sowing cucumbers until the third week of March, and I do have some new varieties to be trying this year. Carmen, Pammy at Garden of Weedon tells me that these are the best cucumbers, so I'm giving them a go. And I'm also going to be sowing Bella F1. Now, Bella has been my lifelong nickname. Everybody in the family calls me Bella still now, so I felt like I had to grow them when I saw them. And my daughter, Isabel, also has asked me for some gherkins this year, so I have bought Partner F1 gherkins. And the final polytunnel variety that I'm going to give a go to this year are called Crystal Apple. And these are again seeds that were sent to me by Jenny from Moorside Gardener, so thank you for those. Look at Dexter in the windowsill. That's his favourite spot. We call that Dexter TV, don't we? You're cheeky, aren't you? Now, for most gardeners, if you have heat and light, the main event in March is sowing your tomatoes. And I have no exception there, even though I don't particularly like tomatoes myself. But I do still use them in cooking. And I'd like to grow more varieties this year because I actually discovered preserving last year, and I did can quite a few jars of tomato sauce. Here's a couple that I prepared earlier, and I'd like to do more this year. Now, I'm not going to run through every variety that I'm sowing because I think I'd be here for a little while, but I will just mention the ones that have been given to me because I've been really, really fortunate. I've had lots of seeds sent to me this year and I'm so grateful. So I've just put my glasses on so that I can read them. Kerry, Dog on the Plot, has sent me quite a few actually, and they're all new varieties to me, so that's really exciting. So she's sent Cowboy Beefsteak, Sweet Cassaday Tomato, Pink Flamingo Striped, Slat Lava, Black Cherry and Black Crim. So that's a really good selection to start with. And then Jane from Jane's Growing Garden, I met up with her recently, has given me some Cherokee Purple and Pink Brandywine seeds. I'm really looking forward to the Brandywine because Duncan's favourite variety last year was actually the Cherry Brandywine. And then Jenny from Moorside Gardener, she also sent me some tomato seeds, and hers are another Brandywine, True Black Brandywine. So I'm looking forward to them. Robin from Robin's Garden also sent me a packet of Dr. White Cheese Yellow, another one that's new for me there. And the final seeds that I had given to me, because I met up with Adi as well as Jane not long ago, were some Grashofka seeds. And I'm really looking forward to growing those because Adi really speaks highly of them. And then I will just mention one more tomato because another one that I am growing is called this Artisan Blush Tiger. And again, this is the tomato that I'm putting high hopes in that I'm going to like this year because apparently it tastes very much like peach. We'll see. Now let's move on to those more unusual vegetables that I said that I would be sowing in March. The first of those unusual vegetables is actually this, and it's called Hamburg parsley, also known as root parsley. Now to harvest them, they look very much like parsnips, and you can roast them like parsnips or you can grate them into salads. But the foliage is to be treated just like any other parsley and can be used in garnish dishes as well. So I'm really looking forward to having this as a truly authentic dual purpose crop. Along with things like parsnips and carrots, this is something that needs to be direct sown in the ground, so I won't be sowing these until right at the end of March. But if you want to give them a go, you've got plenty of time to get some seeds. Now the next unusual thing is not actually an unusual crop, but it's an unusual way to grow them, and that is these potatoes. I'm growing potatoes from seed. Not seed potato, actual teeny tiny seeds. These have been sent to me by Robin from Robin's Garden, so thank you again, Robin. And I'm really looking forward to joining this grow along experiment with her. Be sowing these in the middle of March because they need to be sown 6 to 8 weeks before the final frost date so that they can get planted out in time. And you will harvest these in the first year. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this turns out. By all accounts, they're supposed to be absolutely delicious. So I can't wait to try them. And the final weird and slightly wonderful thing that I will be sowing in March this year are seeds again sent to me by Kerry from Dog on the Plot, and this is mangelwurzel, also known as fodder beet or mangle beet. Now fodder beet is something that is widely grown in the agricultural community because we feed it to any ruminant, it helps give them energy, but it's not something that is widely grown for human consumption. Now they're supposed to be incredibly sweet, somewhere between a sugar beet and an earthy beetroot, and they're supposed to be delicious mashed. I'm really looking forward to giving these mangelwurzels a go and joining in this social media trend for 2025. Now I'm busying myself here sowing the flowers and the herbs that need heat to germinate, like the penstemon, the sunflowers, the cosmos, and obviously the herbs as well, because I need these germinated and out of the way so that I've got room on my heat pad to be sowing the tomatoes and the cucumbers and the melons towards the end of the month. So I'll carry on and get this finished, but I did promise you a sneak peek of what we're doing in the vegetable garden at the moment. So I'll leave you with a little sneaky bit of footage of that. Happy sowing, and I'll catch you in the next video.